My name, how many of you pretty much, we'll see, how many have, is this new? How many are newly involved in a Zoom room session with me? Pretty much nobody's showing. All right, cool. Well, I'll make it done in 5-6 minutes, something like that. But if you are new, I might take longer. Just kidding. I'm going to do my whole enchilada. All right, so tonight I've got to read this because what my team, my beautiful team, let me know that I'm doing a Zoom session tonight about something that wasn't on my calendar. So I'm going, what am I talking about? Well, Living Your Highest Choices series. I'm going, good. What's that about? Now, what's cool is I most likely was involved in this originally, but I'm just going to share this now, Cynthia. Basically, it's a really good idea to show Bob me something visual, because once I see it, I'm in, and once I hear it, I'm going, what? I choose to remember. I'll put it that way. So I'm visual. So here's
I recommit.
That was 3 of them. That's good because we've got 3 events. That's perfect. All right. So when I read what this is, it was like, oh, so good. So I'll just tell you a little. I wrote little notes here. So these 3 topics are some of my personal favorites, really. Not only to do myself, but to share. And second, they're the least understood and utilized of most everything we have. You get, wow, you mean to say if somebody could just sit down and follow a couple things in imagination activation, which is the first series. I mean, we can shift where we are by imagining from this. And so, yeah, and I studied it and did Neville. And, anybody that's done all that, yes, please do have miracles. Only I'll give you how this works. Helena, my beloved, when she was on the planet way back in the, who knows, right when I started working with Neville, reading Neville, The Law and the Promise was the first book I did with Neville. I had miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle out of the blue. And Helena goes, so I better start reading it. So she starts reading it and she's brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant human being. She walks up, she throws the book at me and she goes, I hate you and I hate Neville. You read this and you understand it completely and you imagine you get miracles. And I'm like, whatever. She didn't say it quite like that, but kind of. And so she says, look, you put on a class and you do what you do to teach how this works so I can get it, meaning her. So I put on a class. I picked some of our top people. We all came together in North Carolina where we were living at the time. We got a conference room there. And everyone had miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And it was Helena's turn. 2.5 freaking hours later, cement standing wall. Everyone in the room is because I'm just imagine. And her mind didn't know what the word imagine meant. I mean, I just got to tell you, it was Helena's not a light energy. I'll put it that way. She's very light, but not when she's on it. It's more like 45-foot moving 80-mile-an-hour cement wall. So finally, Claudina, one of our friends who was in class, she just couldn't help anymore. For Christ's sakes, Helena, just pretend. Oh. And she got it. And I'm like, how many of you have worked with your children and you say all this stuff to them and then they go out and they have a friend or they go to school, they come back saying, hey, what I learned today is this, that, and of course, you've been telling them that for like 8 years. How many know what I'm talking about? But go, shut up, just shut up. I don't need to be right. They got it. Doesn't matter how they got it. I'm happy about that. All right. So the reason I'm loving where we are right now is I want to do a little global, Bob's view of the global thing going on. This is a new version of my sharing. We have been in the Turley for eons. I'm going to get that. And the illusion, the lack, the limitation, the non-truths have been going on. How many understand what I'm talking about? I mean, it's just a bunch of, and so I have a little emoji for that. It's brown. It's a little spiral job. Not a good ice cream cone. Not that kind of chocolate. All right. So, so what I'm sharing, and I'm prayerful. I'm in the game. I'm like we all are. I am. And what I'm going to share with you right now is when Cynthia shared with me, oh yeah, Bob, this is the class we're doing imagination activation and outcome mapping and wealth and prosperity. I'm going, perfect. Now I may have been involved in designing this, but again, I have this, I get to see it. And even though they might've sent it to me, I'm like, let's do it on a Zoom so I can actually confirm that I did see it versus have a Zoom or an email sent to me. All right. So what I'm going to share with you is, like Helena, many people hear the words, but don't understand that they get to imagine something all new. That's what I'm about. And globally right now, I mean, the more we can do this, I mean, my outcome is to have 144,000 people on at the same time, reversing everything that's going on the planet with agreement and decree and imagination and technicolor and the 16 senses. And you're it. I mean, how many understand what I'm saying? You make a difference. Yes, 2 or more gathered. I mean, that's enough. You know, with God, all things are, you know, that's a majority. And I really believe we're being given an opportunity to withdraw our attention from our existing poop that's going on in the planet and put our attention on what we choose to have it turn into. Our book is being printed right now, just so y'all know. I love the little thing. It's past. It's not on my list anymore. Anyway, I think it was Tammy said that was awesome. I loved it. Anyway, and you get it. It's going to be coming soon. All that anyway. So now, and here's another piece of the puzzle. I'm going to fly around a little bit. Each one of you, me, all of us, whatever we. I was doing this today. Whatever we experience in our world right now, if we have a charge with it, it owns us. I'm going to get that. If we have a charge about it, it owns us. I worked with one of my good friends who's got 100-some thousand people in her, you know, delivery system that she's on like 5 to 20 times a week talking. And when I got on, she had some health challenges again. And she finally said, well, how do I not hate Biden? I go, honey, you're going to have to love everybody and forgive everybody, even though you might say no more, this and no further. How many love that? No, no, no. But again, how many love that? Oh, so the only way this is going to work is we get to imagine. So when the instrument of the illusion touches us, we immediately, I'm going to show you how to do this and viscerally show you how to do it. I'm going to use example after example after example with you, who's ever in the class, by the way. If something's up, what you immediately go is, well, now that I got an outcome, now that I got a miracle, now that my creator sat in the middle of that and went and turned it into magic, what's new and different for, and every one of you, what's new and different for you, me personally? We are the shift. So how many have all kinds of a list, a plethora, a list of things going on in your life, around your life, in your family, loved ones, friends, government, health, lockdown? How many know what I'm talking about? Media. I stopped watching all media. I just went, no. I used to be on a decree, and now I'm just going flush. You know, just not even going to touch it. So you're the ones. And I'm not just joking. I'm not just saying, you're the one. And it may be 2 people, independent, maybe they don't even know each other, who are imagining some miracle for our health on our planet, or some miracle for a community, or some miracle in our own personal lives, or whatever it is. And then now that I've got my wealth, what's new and different for me is, and they stay, and that's why this is so important for me is that each one is 2 sessions. The why I love 2 sessions is, first session, I'm going to show you what and how. Then you're going to go practice. Then we're going to come back together. Then I'll show you how. If first people get it, good. First session, great. Only there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. It's a continual opening and upgrading and being made new. For our book, My Word Made Flesh, imagination activation is primary, right in there. Neville, the author Neville, again, who taught me about imagination in the way that he did, he says that imagination is Christ. Now, he thinks, I don't agree with everything he says on that, but I really do believe that the state of Christ consciousness doesn't agree with any limitation, it revises it into what we choose. And how many have something in you that and you use your belief, I'm not talking religion, but how many have some creative aspect of your consciousness that can see a miracle independent of proof from the environment? How many can do that? How many have done it? And how many haven't done it? How many have been snookered by the illusion? Oh, it's not going to work. Or even feared that it didn't, and then brought, that I feared is upon me. How many brought the fear on you? How many did premature rejection? I still think that's very funny. So that's where if you're afraid you're going to be rejected, you leave first. How many have done that? So right now, all hearts on deck. Yes or no? How many get right now? I mean, anybody, but I don't like the political arena, so I don't like any of the politics. Bed ticks, dog ticks are all parasites. So this is not political. This is simply give me the truth. I demand truth and only truth come forward. Something I've taught in every class, basically, all the way back to the beginning. I demand truth and only truth come forward. It's something I do. And when I do that, some miracle happens and I hear the truth, even though that wasn't being delivered up until that time. Do the same with me. And right now, the illusion isn't existing unless we exist it. Lack, limitation, C19, etc., only exists by agreement. So how many love the idea of you going, oh, now that I got my miracle, what's new and different for me, and you have to be in the picture for me, is now that my family's thriving, how do I feel? So it sounds very simple, and it is. Truth is simple. It's just that to get the imagination activation to work, we have to be made new. We have to notice what's new and different. And the little self is going, don't do that. No. Don't think so big. Don't go there. Don't. No, what about me? The little self said. I mean, what about fear and doubt? And, I bought all this stuff that I need to protect myself. And I got all this stuff over here to do that. And we've never done that kind of like prosperity. We've never done prosperity in my life before, my family's life before. How many know I'm talking about? How many go, no, we get a wage and then hopefully we have enough money before we die. And none of that's what life is about. We are here to thrive beyond measure. Yes, everyone? Yes. All right. So the first series of classes, or first twin series, is imagination activation. Cynthia will talk about when, how, where, because I'll learn with you on when that is. And again, when I saw this, it was like, ooh, and then the next one is called outcome mapping. So once we imagine, how many like the idea of, how many are good at it? How many have been using Neville's work, imagination activation? We train it. It's in all our stuff. It's in the book. How many are going, I'm good at it? How many are going, I choose to be even more masterful? Anyone? Good, me too. That's why I teach it. That's why I do it. In fact, the very minute I start talking about it, I'm already going, oh, what else can I open up that I've been consenting to that's a limitation? Anyone? How many didn't even know that you didn't know that you didn't know? I don't know, man. How would I know that? Well, how many are now getting, you mean to say that there's something going on in the planet potentially that's attempting to take my rights away and my freedom away, whether people know it or not? I'm gonna get that. Well, maybe that's because we didn't claim them. It's like S&H green stamps. You got to take them in and turn them in. Some people don't have a clue what that is. Some people do. Now, how many ever licked the green stamps for your folks after shopping so that they could go get a pan at the store? All right, so there they are. And then you can tell the ones going, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. It was just anyway, it's weird. But how many haven't claimed your authority yet fully? Raise your hand if you haven't. I'll raise my hand. Because there's more. Let's claim it tonight. Yes or no? And the word authority is authorship. I write my own script. I imagine and claim and live from and walk in already being my victorious life, my victorious life. And it has to be your highest choice. How many go, well, I think I'm going to have a little bit less than my creator's choice for me. You know, I'm not quite that good. So, you know, I pick a goal of 5,000 factor, but I think 100 will do. Anyone? How many have talked yourself out of what your heart said, going, no, 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 don't, come on, get over it. That's not real. Well, it's not real in our rational world. This is where imagination is so important. If my heart says, I'm making these numbers up, 5,000 something, my heart says it, then it's already funded. And I will have to talk myself out of my connection with my creator to have anything, even 4,840. Well, you know, it's close. No, not wrong. It's just not it. How many have done that relationship? Settled? How many? Don't talk about the one you have now, but before that, how many have ever settled in relationships? I always love doing that kind of stuff, like, but especially when the two partners are in one, you know, one window, and they're looking at each other, and luckily, anyway, it's like, no, no, no. How many have picked a job that wasn't your highest choice? How many have ever picked a vehicle that wasn't your highest choice? Yeah, it's not fun, is it? Especially, and how many have ever picked your highest choice and it was awesome? So do you get right now, only highest choice wins? Only your high, and again, my mind can't know that, my heart does. My heart will enlighten me to what my highest choice is. So anyway, that's the imagination activation piece. Outcome mapping is it's a very simple structure of creating a trunk and following a certain series of rules, 3 words per line, 1 color per branch system, da, 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 following arrows, imagining all the way out, and then taking the arrows back in. So now that I have it, what's new and different? It is magic. And I mean by magi means of God, so it's not a weird word. But it is truly miraculous, I'll use that word, to be able to go, oh, I see this, I smell this, 16 senses, I hear this. Oh, what are we doing now? It's been 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. What happens in outcome mapping, I'm just going to wet the whistle on this one, is that we literally, everything we write down, 3 words per line, we build these branch systems out, not just I feel good and I'm happy. How many know it might not be enough to transmute your lineage's belief systems? What's your goal today? And to get through it. No. How many? Come on. Yeah, this, like the woman writes in her diary, you know, 14 pages of what happened for her today, and the man writes, went fishing. How many know the left brain is pretty rational? Yes or no? I'm not talking about gender. I'm talking about left brain, right brain. Right brain's all creative and whatnot. Left brain's like, get her done, son. So how many get, well, your right brain is looking for the sensation of the vividness of what your thriving life is all about. How many go, okay, all right. How many use essential oils? All right, so can you imagine doing outcome mapping and imagination activation with, for me, Young Living essential oils? Whoa, yes. That's one of the benefits of the book for me. All right, 1 second. I've got a little quick. I'm back. Yeah, I have to respond. I'm an only parent, so I respond, even though my kids got her own kids. I'm still an only parent. So all right. So anyway, outcome mapping, as you can imagine, make a branch system. The further you go into who, what, when, where, why, in what way, shape, or form, seeing what, smelling what, hearing what, how, and how it's been 1 year, 5 years, whatever, that literally, and the way I say it is, may or may not be true, but I like the idea of it. We're all given a certain amount of energy. So if we have a lot of trauma, inside of that trauma or lack or fear, anger, or grief, or whatever it is, inside, that's an energy package. How many have been trying to get rid of that energy package and it comes back 7 worse than the first? How many like to wrap your arms around and go, all right, I rename you? Yes. I rename you into what I choose. And how do you take all this energy with love? You transmute it, you transform it. Or like Ariana said, you just breathe into it. You just bring it all. She just yawned, everyone I was watching. She went, well, you just bring it in and then spit it out, and then the direction you choose. That's what outcome mapping is. So when I saw this, and there's 2 sessions each, I'm going, ooh, imagination activation twice, then outcome mapping twice. Ooh, now after this, outcome mapping forever. How many get that? Morning, night, morning, night. Anytime something's up, get your little outcome map thing out. You can put it on your app on your phone. There's all kinds of ways. How many get that? This is the deal, kids. It's so important. So important. Sometimes you change one word and your outcome map happens. How many love that? One word. Helene and I were, when we got married, we made an outcome map for our new home because we required one. It was in Annapolis. We were Annapolitan East Puerto Ricans. We lived in Annapolis and Eastport, so that we call ourselves Annapolitan East Puerto Rican. Anyway, and so we made this beautiful outcome map, big, huge piece of paper, went midnight shopping. I shared it just the other night. And house shopping, you know, and we didn't get arrested by looking in windows and stuff like that. Hopefully they were all empty homes anyway. And finally went, something's up. I mean, if we don't have our house right now, something's up. So we went back and went through the place, water view, we had all this stuff. And then I looked at the center of the trunk. The trunk said, create our home. I'm a builder. That would mean I build my home. No. We changed it to we have our home. 24 hours we had our home. I can show you that kind of stuff. Why am I doing it? Because you got blessings knocking on your door. Yes or no? How many have blessings knocking on your door? Let them in. All right, so that's it. And then the next one is wealth and prosperity. Yeah, but it's really more not an amount of something. This is literally awakening our true value and agreeing with it. That's a big, I mean, I'm doing 24 hours a day right now. I mean, I'm literally going, gosh, you know, I mean, if I just, whatever I need, global, I'm on a global path right now. So what? My God and I are one. How many get, oh, how do I feel now that we have health on our planet and we have personal responsibility for whatever we have on the planet? There's no more, you did it to me. No, there's no, how many get, all right. So health and wealth, how many of you are and wealth and prosperity, health and wealth are the same for me. How many realize that you are a magnet or you're magnetizable? Only love does it. So if I go, I got to get something, I need something, you've demagnetized yourself. Now give me a couple pieces of the puzzle. It's a huge, simple, like 45 paradigm shifts I give in 2 days. And you're going to be outcome mapping. How many like the idea of going, ooh, I already am what I desire to be? And then let yourself realize with your real eyes exactly what the gift of life is giving you that your heart said yes to, that the little self said, what do I got to do to get it? No, you em it. You don't get it, you em it. And everyone will change their name. Instead of Billy Bob, Jim Bob, it'll be Sally Emmett, Brittany Emmett, Victoria Emmett, because I em it. How many like being, come on, walk around. I am it. 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 I am that. I am. So what we got coming up is hot. I'm going to turn this over to Cynthia. We've got something going on and globally and my family right now, my bigger family that I'm supporting. So we're voting victory, and I'm not going to announce that to anybody what's happening, but just vote victory. How's that? Just really vote victory for all of our loved ones. I'll put it that way. And Cynthia, go ahead, my dear.
Okay, so thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. And so we've got the 3 sets of classes coming up. So if you'll have an email either already in your email box or dropping tonight in your email box to register for the set of classes. This is all 6 classes. So 2 on imagination activation, 2 on outcome mapping, and 2 on wealth and prosperity. You get a bundle price of $555 for all 6 classes. If you choose 2 of them, you can do that as well. You can just choose, hey, all I'm in right now for is imagination activation. Okay, that's okay. And so each set of classes is $333. So your bundle is really the best way to go. All classes are at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All classes are 8 p.m. Eastern time. They are Sundays and Thursdays beginning next Sunday. So on the 19th and the 23rd, imagination activation. The following week, Sunday, Thursday, the 26th and the 30th, outcome mapping. The following week, the 3rd, October, we're in October. How can we be in October already? Wow. October 3rd and 7th are wealth and prosperity. Truly, the best way to go is the bundle because they all fit together so beautifully. So tonight in your email, you will receive, there's a registration link for the bundle. Tomorrow, you will receive.
I got a question. Yes. So like 2 classes, I don't want to say the number because it's kind of a weird number they say.
Exactly. 2 classes is
$665, let's say.
Yep.
So, but if I do all 3, it's less money than doing 2.
Then
do you like the way we're marketing ourselves just so you make sure you get this stuff? We're getting sneaky. I'm going to do that right now. But if you act right now, you can get this thing for $1.398 anyway. So the key is wait.
If you act right now, we'll even throw in.
No, yeah, right. A pair of socks. No, just kidding. Go ahead, Cynthia. Forgive me. I just think it's hilarious going. I'm adding the numbers up going, I'm going to sign up for that. Oh, I am already. Okay, got it.
The beauty of it is, and that's why we did it this way, is they go together so well. They build on each other, and they're so important to be together, all 3 sets of classes, that we chose to offer the bundle at $100 cheaper than if you just got 4 classes. So these classes are going to run about 2 hours each. So we've got lots of material going on. Is there homework? Yes. Just like you said, outcome mapping.
No, it's not homework.
Oh, yes. It's home prep.
Or it's also called plurking.
Called what?
Plurking. Play work.
Okay. I get it. Plurking. Okay. Not to be confused with twerking. Okay. We're not even going to go there. Okay. I knew you would. That's so I beat you to it.
Very good.
You're welcome. So yes, all 3 classes. So tomorrow, if you just choose 1 or 2 or pay them out or whatever, you'll get that email to do them separately tomorrow. Tonight, you get the bundle. Yes, Bob.
And you go back to that. Everyone, please, if you can, be visual on this. Because we learn a lot when how many have been visual in class? Like Brittany was just raising her hand like that. Like how many agreed? Oh, Brittany, you have I'm not faking it. I thought she raised her hand, even though I just 10 tenths of a second before I said how many felt da, da, da. And then, yes, Brittany. And yet, Brittany, come on, mic yourself. Did you get a miracle out of that?
Yes, I get miracles daily.
Good job. Good job. It was so fun to watch her going, I was just raising my hand, Bob, because you asked if anyone was, anyway, so thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And vote victory. We vote victory, see perfection, but it's time for our great God self to be functioning in us at our full capacity. Go ahead, Cynthia.
And come play, be visual, be ready to play. When I have stepped in and played on different calls and different things, I get so much more than if I just sit back and wait. And guys, that's how I started. In my very first SBLT class, I sat on my hands. When I was live in class with Bob, and when I noticed what he was doing in the room, my nose could have itched until it fell off, cancel clear, and I was not about to move. And just not happening and not playing. And you know what? What did I miss? Truly, what did I miss? So I invite you to jump in.
Your husband
and
did it. He
play.
moved and he got his motorcycle out of the deal.
Yes, my husband moved for sure. You know what? We got our marriage out of the deal because he moved. We got a whole lot more than a motorcycle. I moved hugely from fear into faith just with him moving. So really, come and play. Come and play. It is life changing and life giving. Period.
So what do they have to do? What's the special? How do they get that? Because I
They
went
just register. So they go and you'll get your email tonight, and it'll be a little button in there, and you register. What it brings it
What's
down
the noise
to?
again? What's the sound of the button again?
One more time.
Yes. I always do 3 times, just so you know, if you come play with me. If you make a weird noise, I'm going to have to say it again, then have you say it again, because I can. That's it.
So what the question is, what does this reduce the price of each week, the 2-week classes? $185. So instead of $333, you're at $185, $185, and $185, which brings you to $555. Huge deal, huge savings. To encourage you guys, let's jump in together. Let's do this all together. Our planet is asking for us.
I mean, it's more than that. I believe it's demanding it. Anyone? How many see?
Yes.
It's like it's time. All
Yes.
hearts on deck. All hearts on deck. All hearts, and that means us thriving personally.
Yes.
How many get? Oh well, I guess it's my time to thrive. Whatever. Gosh, I guess it's my job. Oh, come on, I'm serious. I'm not joking. And look, if I have to thrive, you have to thrive. It's so much better than misery loves company. No, grace loves company. Anyone? Miracles love company. Anyone else? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's what this is all about. Period.
Yes, yes, yes. Anybody have anything to share? Yeah, Warren, go ahead.
War and peace.
Sorry, I had to move rooms. We've got this cleaner outside. Sorry for being late. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'd just love to share. I'm part of like a current 3-day or 3-session course with Bob and the crew. But I just love to share with everyone a profound shift from my very first class. I assumed I was taking small steps as an introduction to mastery systems. But in one word that I learned from my first class has just been profound. And it was one word that I could honestly say energetically was almost anchored to like my heart chakra. And without going through the full detail, the one word was grounded. I used the word that I feel grounded. But the perfection and the energy of that word, what came to light was that that word grounded was not like I'm at peace and grounded. It was grounded in the sense of I felt grounded by parents, dogma, authoritarian, but the joy that's kind of been brought by shifting that decree into I feel alive, I am me, has just been profound over the last couple of days. I've also noticed the oscillation because I've got a perfect partner who I can see when I shift or change, her wording is almost like a testing ground. And what I used to almost hang my hat on energetically in responses to our language and how we communicate is shifting as well. So I just wanted to share that because that in itself, just from one lesson, I say it's profound, but it's also been like uplifting for my soul as well, because that I can almost say it was like shackles on my heart chakra, and it shifted. It's melted away. That's the only thing I could say. I wouldn't say it broke away. It just dissolved, and that in itself was just brought a smile to my dial, which I haven't experienced. I wouldn't say I haven't experienced. There's been other joys in my life, but that was just that was just evidence of how words play an important part in our language and belief systems and consciousness as well. And what could be seen in an etherical kind of spiritual term of, oh, I'm grounded, I'm at peace. Just that one word and the relationship to that word has shown me a lot with Bob's work. That's what I want to say. That's what I would love to say. That's what I have said.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you.
Warren, you look different.
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed, guys? I mean, whoever was on the call last week, you look different.
No, thank you.
Any
And
other
it
comments?
happens. I was on reading some of Neville's stuff today, and it's funny because I'll just talk out loud whether anyone's here or not. And I was reading a paragraph today and just sitting with it, and the whole room did a spin. And I spoke out loud.
Which way? Which way?
uh
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
so this is right going back, so this clockwise. Yes?
Yep. Clockwise. You just, yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if you,
Yes.
yeah, it was that way. That's a spin.
Yes. And I said out loud, wow, was that just me? Did anyone else feel it? There's no one else in the room. And I was like, who am I even talking to? And it's so real. So real.
Do you know what you did potentially? You reversed the mortal coil.
Yes.
How many know death is a counterclockwise spiral and diminishing return? And the minute we start loving consciously, we reverse that spin to the idea of the ascension or raising or whatever. These are real deals.
Huge. Yes.
Anyone else? Oh, spinning ones in a good way. Go ahead, Rosa.
I like to share an experience I had with Bob. This is a few years ago, and I remembered it yesterday. I did a 10-minute phone call with you, Mr. Stevens, and within the first second, you told me to stop. I said 3 words, and you told me stop, and you said you have a death wish. And you didn't leave me there. In the next 5 minutes, you took my experience and you helped me find new decrees that I still live to today. So I don't know why I stumbled across, somehow I was led to read that conversation. You sent me a transcript of the conversation. So last night, I was so moved that I went on your website looking for online events, and I couldn't find any. And somehow today I get an invitation to say, come to this online event. So I feel like I got what I wanted. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Great story. And Brian is laughing because I did the same thing with him one time as well. I always like when people say, you have a death wish, and usually I might say a little bit different, and definitely I don't leave somebody there going, well, good luck. You're probably not going to make it out of here. No. I mean, how many get the words have to be shifted? Otherwise we have a vow that's going to eventually attempt to happen. So thanks for sharing that. Anyone else? Brian rolled when you said that. He just laughed.
I got something funny on top of that to share with you. So Rose, I can totally relate to the whole you got a death wish? Well, now that you say it, I think I do. I do. You know what's really interesting too, the whole part about the pretend. I choose to know why, but the whole imagination thing has been very not so smooth for me. Even after we did our second round of body electronics was actually when I was able, that was easier for me to do. And coming back to now, that's something I get to focus on a lot because I see how it can impact who I'm being and where I'm at and what I'm moving through right now. So it's really my outcome and intention to get clear on how I can be more effective or just start doing it and without thinking or cancel with doing it with confidence, thinking I'm doing it okay, or am I doing it right? Just getting past my whole mental dialogue going on and doing it. So the whole pretend thing is really what brought it home for me. I'm like, oh, pretend. I get it. So weird. Just that word shift though is, I find the same thing. Sometimes it's that one little word shift. You're like, oh, that's what it is. But there it is. So thank you.
That's awesome. Anyone else? I love it.
I like
And-
pretend as well because it's pre-tending. I'm tending and I'm pre-tending, tending in advance of where I am going. I'm imagining. And with my outcome imagination, with my outcome mapping, I have moved in several places to where I'll be outcome mapping and I get past my doable, reasonable, possible, how am I going to make this happen, outcome mapping, and I move into my imagination in my outcome mapping, and now my feeling comes up, and now I'm sitting with a piece of paper with all the blurred colors because tears are running down, and it just looks like there's all the dripping going down and all the things, and I'm past my doable, reasonable, possible. The beauty of my essential oils is I get there faster when I use my oils, when I outcome map.
Me too. Me as well. Especially now. I mean, I would have said that before, but over this period of time, investing so much time being with oils, my oils, man. And if you can smell them, they're still working. I'm just going to share that with everyone. You know, how many have ever had an oil on and then after a while, it's like, oh, you know, you sniffed it all up, right? You use the frequency. And how many have ever had an oil that is still carrying on and on and on and on and on? That means it's still working. Stay with it. So anyway, anyone else? Come play. And especially if your heart says yes, you know, do it any way we can help. Go ahead, Donna.
Hi, everyone. I have a new phenomena to report, and that is that I feel a little like Wonder Woman with my decrees. So whenever there's a negative thought or something I could go off on this, you know, crazy fantasy with, it's like boom, boom, boom with my decrees. And from somebody who in the past quite disliked her voice, I run around my 4 acres singing them and I really like it. My voice, no competition for the birds.
Awesome. Miracles, yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Anyone else? Go ahead, Carolyn.
I wasn't planning to talk, but here I am. I've had miracle after miracles since I first started doing this work. So many, and continue every day. It happens every day. I'm on God's super highway of miracles, and I fall. You know, I falter. I get back up. But I get immediate feedback if I'm off the path. I get immediate feedback, and I just stop, look for the next sign, and the next sign comes. And when it comes, when the next miracle and the next creativity, it's been a wonderful, amazing journey. And I've changed ever since this COVID thing started. I've changed so much in my life. I lost 45 pounds, but I've gained enthusiasm. Enthusiasm was, I had really given up. When I'd given up on my life, I had no enthusiasm. And since the beginning of this amazing opportunity that we have on this planet, I have regained my enthusiasm and my energy. And of course, a lot has come up, and a lot has been resolved. I haven't expressed the number of miracles that have happened to me. They're happening every day, and so I thank you. I thank the whole conscious language. For me, has been just unbelievably wonderful. So I'm full of gratitude.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And instead of lost 45, how about I reinvested my 45 pounds into enthusiasm?
in
Yes.
enthusiasm.
Because if you
Yes.
lost it, the little self would go, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Like your mittens, if you ever, it's like, where'd your mittens
Yeah,
go?
I've gained energy and enthusiasm,
Nice.
and yes, thank you. Thank you.
Good job. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else? Victoria.
On Tuesday of last week, I did my mind mapping. And in the heart of my mind map, I am God in action. Within 12 hours, I quit 3 jobs. And within an hour after quitting my jobs, I was assigned a whole new beginning of life, abundant life going forward. And it took one mind map. And this is the first.
Well, what's your new career?
Mastery systems.
Yep, she's full on and helping us out, and she had us all crying. She went to our first meeting on whatever morning that was, and we're all, everybody's like, and she's voting our victory. You all look tired, man. You put so much in this thing, and we're all like patting ourselves on the back because she's doing it for us. And the tissues came out by everyone. It was awesome. Thank you, Victoria. Go ahead.
That was Thursday. So from Tuesday to Thursday, speed is an understatement.
Yeah.
It happens instantaneously when you listen to your God self and say yes to all that you are in that moment, period.
Oh man, I love these stories, by the way. And let's keep them coming, yes or no? And let's imagine miracles already landing in all of our government, our people, our healthcare, real healthcare versus disease management. Yes, I'm going to get healthcare, caring health. Yes, cool. Anyone else? Brittany.
So I choose to share my experience when I upgraded. I'm bawling, and I have felt dizzy many times as I'm reversing the spin from the negative to the positive into life. And so I understand what Cynthia was saying about the room switching, because I've experienced that spiral upward.
Upward. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I wonder if it makes a difference on, like the toilet goes a different spin down under, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Which way does your toilet spin? That'll tell you where you are, by gum. Well, I'm not sure. I believe clockwise is the ideal, but that's why I always say, it's called dextrorotatory. That's why I always say, well, generally it's clockwise. So I choose how it all works. But.
Well, we have so many Australian friends, we can ask.
We do. We do. How many of you have been practicing your accent? I'll raise my
I
hand.
choose to be in a class with all Aussies because I will upgrade faster with my accent that way.
Yes, you will. It won't be stand by. It'll be, what was it?
Full stop.
Yeah, full stop. When we did this class, Meta BE, and we had 12 people in Mullumbimby. What? Mullumbimby. And by the way, that family just gave me the name of all these other cities in Australia that I'm going to have to practice even to play it back to you. I mean, they have different names. It's awesome. Anyway, anyone else? All right. Thank you all. I want your victory. Join us, and let's make an agreement right now that miracles, our personal experience of global miracles, have landed. Our job is to notice them. Yes. Let's imagine the forces of the sacred fire, God's divine love, has already moved across the face of the earth and has consumed all human doubt, fear, greed, and replaced it with love, forgiveness, mercy, and plenty, and caring for all. All in favor, please say yes. You can mic yourself so I can hear this.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank
Yes.
you.